So in this video we're going to be taking you through how to build a simple agent in Copilot using the template agent creator, and we're going to be using Microsoft Copilot with a premium license. The difference between the basic and the premium is that you have more functionality in the premium tier. The basic tier allows you to create agents that simply search online for the knowledge required for the agent to function, whereas in the premium tier you have more features and specifically the ability to lock down search knowledge to particular sources and upload knowledge documents for reference. So let's jump in. Now, for the purpose of this short video, I've pre-made a mock company using AI called Acme Solutions Limited, just to give the agent a company profile to work with. And along with its inception, I've also prompted the creation of a customer onboarding guide specific to the company, which the agent will use as a knowledge base. So you should be able to see two things on screen here. On the left-hand side, we've got the main Copilot landing page for all the chat. On the right hand side we've got the Acme Solutions Limited Customer Onboarding Guide, which I referred to and was pre-made. So on the left here where you can start your chat. So you can start a general chat in Copilot, and if we just go up to this section we can see that the model which is being used for the agent is Claude Opus. But we're not going to chat here. What we're going to do is going to go down to New Agent. And a note on the guide, this is just a Word document that has a full play sequence on how a customer onboards, and we've called it a customer onboarding guide, which you can see here at the top. So what we're going to do next is we're eventually going to connect this agent up to the onboarding guide as a knowledge source, but first we need to use a template from the pre-made agent template, so in the Copilot environment. So down here you can see a variation of templates that we can use. So we're going to go down to the bottom and pick something that fits in with our customer onboarding agent. So let's go for Customer Insights Assistant. And you can see here this is pulled through the template with some pre-filled in information for that Customer Insight Assistant. What we're going to do first is just change the title to something that matches our Acme Solutions Limited. So we'll put Acme Customer Onboarding Assistant. And then we're going to edit this pre-existing description and put in here what we've got. So it's an agent designed to help customers on board with Acme Solutions Limited. Okay, now down to the instructions, which is the key part. So this is where we basically tell the agent what it does and how it is to perform, and basically, set up its role. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this pre-existing text template that we've got from the Customer Insight agent and replace that with something that I've created, which is being pre-created, which is a basic description of what this role will be for this onboarding assistant. So you are to help new customers, this is how you behave, and basically just some states here what the type of communication we're looking for, and the opening message to start any chat. So the next important section in the agent template is the knowledge section. So we can link to many sources in here, from SharePoint, from OneDrive. But what we're going to do is we'll eventually link this to the Acme Solutions Customer Onboarding Guide. For the purpose of this demo, I'd just like to do that without to start with, just to show what it's like without any knowledge that's linked to it. So we're going to turn off the capabilities because we don't need it to create documents or charts and code. I'm going to turn off the image creation as well. So now that's all set, we can go back up to the top of the page now and we can actually preview the assistant with a question. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to type a quick question in here and we're going to ask something, let's ask something that's related to, so let's go for how can we find out information on the multi-factor authentication? So I've set up my login details. How do I set up multi-factor authentication? Okay, and we're just going to hit enter on that, and this will now come up with a response, which we'll just wait for it to process and see what it comes back with. Okay, so we can see here that it doesn't know because it's not linked to any knowledge. We've put in the instructions that it should link back to the user to contact the company. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to change that. We're going to upload the actual Acme Solutions onboarding guide, which is on the right, and open that and link that into the knowledge. So that will take a couple of moments just to process down here. We can see that that's processing. So once that's connected, that'll be the source of knowledge that the model within the agent will go to as its preferred source of knowledge. Okay, and that's now loaded. So we can now give this another try and preview it. So we'll copy that question again and start a new chat and fire that in there and ask the same question and see what it returns as a result now that we've got the knowledge source of the Acme Solutions Limited guide for the customer onboarding connected. So as you can see here, it's returning the exact same details as what's in the customer onboarding guide, so that's brilliant. It's telling you how to download, it's telling you how to authenticate on your phone, and that's good. So we can see that that's working, so that's connected. And the only thing that we don't really like here is the amount of emojis that are being used in the structure, so we can then look at that in the next section. Okay, we can see here that we've got a good response and that it's linking to the knowledge base, but the actual response doesn't look too chat and natural. It looks very structured, use of emojis, and I like the chat to be a little bit more natural. So we can go back in here and we can actually edit how to behave under the instructions. So we can add in some additional details. So we can put in something specific to do not use emojis, which is very simple. We just type that out as it is there in the notes. And then we also want to add something in where we don't want to use structure. So we could ask the agent to make sure that it's more of a flow, more natural feeling to the actual conversation. So what we'll put here is do not use structured sections and make the chat feel more natural. And then once that's done, we can go back and retest the chat. So once again, we're going to copy the question and put that back in and see what we get this time now that we've specified that we don't want to see that structure in those emojis. Leave that to process. It's searching the document now. And there we have it. So what we've got now is that we've got the actual response that's come through, which is brilliant. It feels more chat related, and the structure's gone and the emojis have gone. One thing I am noting though is that it's referencing the actual source guide, which is a bit clunky. So we can actually clean that up and make that flow a little bit better by specifying that in the instruction section again. So we go back down to here and just add in a little bit of extra instruction. Importantly, with chat bots, we want to make it feel natural. A natural chat, a human connection to a chat is always better in that sense. So we don't want it to feel like the knowledge is being sourced in some way, shape or form. We want the confidence to be able to know that it's feeling like it's from its own knowledge source. So we'll put the same in this message here where we put do not reference to the main source document in your response and answer as if it was the chat's own, the agent's own knowledge. Okay, so we can go back and test that again now. We've got that new instruction in there and see what we get from this. So once again, we'll copy and re-ask the question and see what we get. So I'll just do a bit of processing and searching through the documents. And here we go, so we should get a response now. And there you go. So we've got a very chat, natural based conversation there with the information from the knowledge base and no emojis and no references to the source documents and no structure, which looks great. So now we've tested the agent with an easier question, I want to try a harder question, something a little bit more vague. So I'm going to put in here, I've just joined as an admin and what are my responsibilities? Now that's a really vague question. There's no specific area of the onboarding guide that says this is what an administrator does. So the agent now has to work through the detail in the document source and work out really what an admin responsibility is as part of the role. So it's doing that now, and hopefully it'll come back with some clear guidance. So yeah, brilliant. So it's come back here that you can add and manage team members through the portal, and they need to keep an eye on how many users are set up in the contract. So yes, it's basically defined the role of an admin based on what it can see from the knowledge file. So that's a great step forward. It's got no structure, it's got no emojis, and it's just basically conversational, which is what most clients do need. And it's as simple as that. So that concludes this demo. Hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea of how to create simple agents and the templates that are available to give it a try and enjoy creating some agents of your own.